Episode 1 of Ralph's Stuff includes an interview with the Dean of Mountain Riders, Bob Terrell, my herd of fish, surfing the alien tunnels, extending the yard, and we did so by about half an acre, I don't know why, Bawana's mail machine, Claytor State Park up in Virginia, my sister's horse, and the 2006 North Carolina Mountain State Fair. Hello, welcome to Ralph's Stuff. I'm Ralph Roberts, your host. I'm something rather unusual for this area. I'm a native. I was born in Biltmore 60 years ago, and Buncombe County has been my permanent address all this time. I'm also a published author. I have over almost 100 books in print now, which are sold nationally. But as technology moves on, so too do I move into video production. One of the ways I learn is by doing. The short films that follow in this show and in the other shows in this series are little things I've done to learn this or that. I hope you enjoy them. Here with Bob Terrell. Bob, how many years have you been writing now?
I've been writing here 58 years for the Citizen Times, and add 4 more to that I worked at the Silver Herald. That's 62 years.
Wow, that's a lot.
I've written a few words.
How many do you think you've written overall?
Well, I figure I've written close to 20 million in the Citizen Times, so I would settle for that figure.
Well, I'd settle for it too. That's a lot of words. That sounds good. You recently wrote your autobiography, Bob.
Yeah.
And full of stories. Like, what was the favorite era of your writing career?
The favorite era of my writing career? Probably might be a tie between the 50s and halfway through the 60s when I was the baseball writer here. I've always been a baseball nut. I thoroughly enjoyed covering the Asheville Tourist and watching the guys from this league go on to the major leagues. It might be a tie between that and 1953 when I was on the atomic bomb maneuvers in the desert in Nevada. I watched them shoot 4 atom bombs up close. I went into ground zero after 2 of them to see what damage they've done. That was just the experience of a lifetime.
What about the story you've told me before about the tape recorder?
Tape recorder?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I took a tape recorder in one day. we would go into 6-foot trenches reinforced with concrete and steel, and had a shelf running along the top of it. So I wanted to record the blast, the sound of the blast. They don't go off with a boom, they go off like sound like a locomotive going by. So I took that recorder in, plugged it in, set it up on the shelf, and I held the microphone out to my right and pointed it toward the top of the tower where the bomb was, and that thing went off, and I felt something tapping me on the arm. They made the shots in total darkness. But it was just, you could count the yucca bushes on the hillside a mile away from the light from the bomb. And I looked over at my hand, and I still had the microphone and about a foot of cord, and it was tapping me on the arm. So I looked up, and the recorder was gone. We never even found a smidgen of it.
If your arm had been just a little bit higher.
Ooh, oh yeah, I don't know why I got off scot-free with it just sticking out from my shoulder, but it vaporized that tape recorder.
Wow. That was actually a wire recorder in those days, wasn't it?
No, that was tape. This was after, yeah. I used a wire recorder some in college doing some basketball games, and by the time I had come to work on the Citizen Times in 1949, well, either there or in 1950, they had developed a tape recorder.
What do you think about journalism today in general?
Journalism today, in general, a whole lot easier than it used to be. Back in the old hot type days, you do everything by computer. They no longer have proofreaders. That shows up sometimes in the paper. But, you know, you write a story and just punch a button and it goes to the editor's desk. And he's supposed to proofread it. And I think by and large, it's probably better because they can make deadlines better. See, when I used to cover the baseball games, we had to put the first edition to press at 11 o'clock. Game ended at 10:30. I had to get back to the office half a mile and write the story and let them get it in type before 11 o'clock. So I would kind of write the story in my head as the game went along. And by the time I got to the office, I just sat down and typed it out.
Okay, well, thanks, Bob.
Thank you, Ralph. My pleasure.
Okay. I'm Ralph Roberts from here in our farm in the mountains of western North Carolina. And this is our herd of fish. The fish live year-round in a concrete livestock watering tank that's about 4 feet in diameter, some 18 inches above ground and about the same below ground. Back in the early 1980s, when we still had cows on the farm, the Department of Agriculture came to us with a real deal. If we would fence off a small stream nearby to keep the cows from eroding the banks by going down to drink from it, they would put in a free concrete watering tank and pay for the fencing. Seeing at long last a chance to get at least a taste of our tax dollars back, we jumped at the chance. The tank was put in place and pipe run from a spring about 100 feet away. The spring is a strong one, putting out 8 gallons a minute, so the tank never freezes, even when the temperature gets below zero in the winter. The cows loved their new tank, but soon there was trouble in paradise. Cows, you see, slobber when they drink, and algae, which loves the slobber, soon infested the tank, almost choking it. I'm talking a lot of algae. I contacted our county agriculture extension agent, and he told me the problem was quite common, but the solution really easy. Simply get some goldfish and put them in the tank. Goldfish find algae quite delectable, and since the running water keeps the tank from freezing, the fish survive the snow and ice of winter unperturbed. So, we put goldfish in the water tank, and sure enough, they survived both inclement weather and the happy slurping of water from the tank by about 30 thirsty cows. The algae soon got down to a manageable level. The cows ignored the goldfish ignored the cows. Life was good. About 4 years ago, we got rid of the cows for good, and now there was no slobber to fuel the growth of new algae. The fish, we feared, would soon be starving, and we would have to feed them. However, the algae continued to grow and the fish to thrive. We currently have 6 large fish in our nautical herd, 4 goldfish and 2, whitefish. These are not, of course, the same fish we started with about 25 years ago, but there's been surprisingly little turnover. These fish are only our 3rd group, and they've been in the tank for several years now. Let me stress it. The fish take complete care of themselves. We never feed them, the algae does that in profusion, and the fish seem fat and contented. But, you know, it's got to be really boring when your world is limited by concrete walls, 2 feet at most in any direction. Still, there are no predators in the tank, the food's free, and I've not figured a way to charge them rent yet. Yes, life is indeed good in the tank. Thanks for watching. This has been Ralph Roberts reporting from Alexander, North Carolina. Thank you. Well, hello. Oops. I'm testing my anti-gravity board. Whoa. Exploring these alien caves here. This is a test using Serious Magic Ultra 2 software behind a green screen as we try to stay on this anti-gravity board as we fly through the caves. Now, I'm not very good at surfing or anything, but I am managing to stay on the board. Oh, yeah, to stay on the board. Okay, we're still moving. Coming along really good. Whoa, whoa, that's a curve. Curve coming up. Okay, hang on. Stay with me. Here we go. Yeah, this is fun. Hang 10, yeah. Need some Beach Boy music to go with this. Oh, yeah. Boy, there's a long tunnel. I don't know where it goes. Way down through there. Yep. Okay, we're still moving. Yeah. Okay. Da-da-da. Ooh, yeah. Whoa. Nice. Yeah. Okay. That's a pretty good test. That's Keith Morris on the tractor, clearing a new half-acre addition to my yard. Since my yard is already over an acre in extent, including the areas around my home, the office, and warehouse buildings of my publishing company, cabooks.com, and several of the old barns here on the farm, one might rightly question, why do I want additional lawn to mow? A logical question. I don't know. It just seemed like a good idea at the time. Seriously, we plan on planting some fruit trees, adding a picnic table down by the water tank, and generally just expanding what is already a very enjoyable and attractive area. The water tank is fed by an underground spring and was put in about 20 years ago when we had cows here on the farm. At the time, the county agricultural extension agent suggested we put goldfish in the tank to eat the algae that grew there in profusion. Since the tank is fed at the rate of 8 gallons a minute from the spring, it never freezes and the fish live fine all year round and never need feeding. In 20 years, I've only had to replace the fish twice. The ones in there now have been living in the tank for about 7 or 8 years and are pretty big. Sorry, no fishing. A word or two about Keith's tractor, just because I like tractors and I'm considering buying one myself. It's a Massey Ferguson diesel, 28 horsepower. He's pulling a 5-foot bush hog. Well, actually, I think the brand name on his is Ag Cutter. Bush hog is a trademark name, but since they were one of the first we ever saw on farms back in the 1960s and even back in the 50s when I was growing up, the farmers hereabout use bush hog as a generic term. I filmed this using my Canon XL2 camera and edited it using Adobe Premiere Pro software. The music in the background is titled Born to Ride from my library of royalty-free buyout music. I thought this was going to be Bawana's mail machine. It's a rack-mountable 2.8 gigahertz machine. All kinds of extras in it. It's a CD drive. It's running Centros 4.2, which is a Linux operating system with a lot of power. And we think that this machine is going to get Bawana's mail to him on time. We'll either get it to him on time or else. We know that. In April of 2006, my wife Pat and I had been to Roanoke, where I was a guest at the Vision Film Festival. On the way back on I-81 between Roanoke and the Tennessee line, we'd often seen the sign for the Clater State Park. So we decided to go up and see Clater Lake and the rest of the park. It was also an experiment. This was one of the first outings for my new Canon XL2 camera, video camera. And while it's a little shaky, this is pretty nice eye candy. It's relaxing, a beautiful place. My sister has a horse that she keeps way out in the Nevada desert. And it's so hot out there that even the cactus can't raise a good spit. And the lead melts right out of the shells of your 6-shooter. But she seems to like it and the horse don't mind it. The horse's name is Traveler, after the horse by the same name that was ridden by that great general Robert E. Lee of Civil War fame. My sister bought the horse, Traveler, from Steve Reeves, who played Hercules back in the 1950s in the movies. Traveler's looking around for a good place to roll in the dust. Horses like to roll in the dust to get rid of the sweat and keep the bugs off. There he goes. Get it, Traveler? He knows how to roll. That's a rock and rolling horse. Okay, you can get up now. Come on, come on, that's it. He's not ready. Oh, he's gonna roll again. There he goes. He's rolling, raising that dust. It's about 105 when he's doing that, by the way. 105 degrees. Which is a cold spell out there in the Nevada desert. It's pretty close to Las Vegas, but it's hot. My sister's explained to us what he was doing. We know what he's doing. He's rolling in the dust. Oh, there he goes. He's looking for another place. How he determines the perfect place to roll, I don't know, but evidently he does. It has to be just perfect now. Hello, Traveler. How you doing, bud? No, unfortunately I didn't bring anything to feed you. Sorry. Maybe next time. No, it's not a good place to roll, is it? He's looking around though, he'll find one. There he goes. No. Now he's exercising. The dogs help. I'm not sure which dog is which, but one's named Rifle and the other's named Pistol. I guess I'd run too if somebody had a rope after me. My sister has a horse trained pretty well. She's had him several years. Rides him out in the desert. All the mesquite and the cactus. And as we'll see in just a few minutes in this film, the owls. The little owls that live in burrows in the ground. Don't ask me why, I don't know. Get on it, traveler. There he goes. Okay. Hello, dog. Yeah, he's going to get a treat now. He's done well. And he can actually see through that thing on his head. That's to keep the flies out of his eyes. Now let's go out and look at the owls. My sister's pointing us where to look. They're hard to see. Oh, there's one. I got him filmed pretty good. Yeah, don't look at me. There's another one down under the bush. There's two in that picture. I guess they eat mice and stuff like that out there in the desert. I'm trying to sneak up on him right now to get a better close-up. There we go. I got pretty close. See his beady little eyes. He's looking. Oh, he saw me coming. Pat and I go to the North Carolina Mountain State Fair every year. We have since 1993, and we truly enjoy it. It's part of our heritage. We hope you go and enjoy it also. This is just a brief overview I shot with my Sony HC1 high-definition camera, just to give you the flavor of the fair.
Country and I think we just about got it going now.
Fun for everyone, winner each and every race.
Are you ready to win? Sorry about the warrants. Which
every race.
For an educational thrill of a lifetime. Get your ticket and come in. Alive, a cow with 6 legs. Look, on the ball, 6 legs on the front side. The thumb, half zebra, half donkey, and it's alive. Come in now. Walk in. We'll wait on you now. Wait for you. Swim on.
Not fair.
Go to ralphwroberts.com to see this show again.